Hi everyone, so today I just decided that I wanted to do a overview of the loft because a couple people asked for that, showing it to you in a little bit more detail than I did in my cage tour. So to start off, I figured I'll give you some of the measurements because a lot of people have asked me that, and I know in my cage tour I was a little bit sketchy on the measurements because I really couldn't remember. So I'm going to start with the ramp. It is 22 inches long by 7.5 wide. And so you can see where I overlap the grid. This is like the big squared grids. The pack of grids that I got had little ones like this, if you can tell. I'm not really sure if you can. And then it had bigger squared ones. So I use the bigger square ones for the ramp, and I overlap them by 2 of this, and then I zip tied it together. And then for the main part of the loft, it is 14 inches wide by 22 long, and this part here, from the top of this part to the floor, is 11 inches, and then it is also 11 inches from here to here. And then this little front wall part, which I trimmed so it would be a little bit lower because I didn't want it the full height of this, is also 7.5 inches. So those are just the measurements, and I took the floor out so you can maybe see where the grids are. Also, I overlapped, these are the big square ones as well, I overlapped 2 of the squares here, 3 of the little squares here, and then for the bottom part I used the big ones and I overlapped 2. So basically, everywhere I used the big grids, I overlapped 2 squares, and then everywhere I used the little ones, I overlapped 3. And then the same goes for, I really don't know if you can really see this, the same goes for here. I used the little ones and I overlapped 3. I'm really sorry if it's a little difficult to see. I tried using somewhat of a solid background so you could see everything. And then again, like I showed in my cage tour, the ramp detaches and I use these corner brackets. They used to come out like all the way out here, but then we trimmed them so they'd be a little bit shorter, and it just clips on right there. Not really sure how many zip ties I used. I know I used more than 50 because I bought 2 packs of 50 and I used up the entire first pack and most of the second one. So I really don't know how many I used. So at least 50. I left the hay rack there because the hay rack's actually zip tied to it because they always pick it up and knock it off. So the one thing I will say about this is the hay does get caught in between where I overlap the grids right here a lot, but it's not that big of a deal. When I go to clean out the cage, I just kind of pull the hay out of there. And then these little things are the brackets that I use for their pellet bowl, which is the corner crock. So now I'll put the floor in just so you can see what it looks like with the floor in. Once again, as I said in my cage tour, I did use a for sale by owner sign. If I can get this in here. Okay, there we go. Maybe now you can see it a little bit better. I don't know. But yeah, I used a for sale by owner sign just because my Home Depot didn't have any just plain Coroplast with no writing on it. So, but I was like, you know what, you can't see it anyway, and I'm sure the guinea pigs don't care. So I figured it doesn't really matter. If I could find like a very large sheet of Coroplast, I probably would get that and then cut it and bend it on the sides to make sides, because the hay does fall out a lot because I don't have any sides. So maybe that will be something I will do in the future. Now, as far as the ramp is concerned and what it's made out of, a lot of people I've heard say that the ramp that they've made out of wood will start to smell bad because the pigs pee on it, but I really have not noticed that they pee on it too much. Like maybe in a couple spots like there, I'm not even sure if that's actually pee, but I haven't noticed that it smelled bad, and I've almost had this for probably like a month or 2, I think. And they do like to chew there and then a lot along the edges here, but I haven't really noticed that they've been able to get at the wood glue. So the wood glue is non-toxic anyway, so I'm not really concerned about it. But overall, I really like the way that this loft has turned out. I'm really happy with it. The pigs love it. They love spending time up in the loft, and they really seem to enjoy it. And like I said before, this whole project cost me probably $30 to make. Grids were $15. Other supplementary supplies costs about the other $15 that I spent. And I have the Midwest cage, so that's why I had to use zip ties. If you have a CNC cage, obviously you can use the connectors that come with the grids, but if I used the connectors, it would have made it much too wide for my cage, so that is why I use zip ties. If you have a Midwest cage, I'm not really sure what else you could use other than zip ties to attach it, but hey, if you figure something out, feel free to let me know, but zip ties were the most easy way that I could think. So hopefully I didn't leave anything out. But if you have any more questions, just leave me a comment. I'll try to answer them. But yeah, so this is my loft. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.